So this is my first video. A little nervous about it. I've never really made a video before. I'm sure I'm gonna hate it because I hate looking at myself and seeing myself recorded. But there's been something that's I've been itching to tell you. And it's not just about me wanting to tell you, it's about me needing to tell you. And those orders come from a higher power. So it's been weighing on my heart. I need to tell you about this. Most of you know that my dad had a stroke in 2007 and it debilitated him. He was paralyzed on his right side. He couldn't talk. It took him a long time to say my mom's name. It took him a long time to say my name, say simple things like, I need some water, even I love you. I always knew that he loved me, but it was really hard to see him, and especially my mom, go through that. She was an angel. She really took care of him for our family. After he had his stroke, he was starting to have some problems. Ultimately, in the end, his kidneys failed him. But before that, he was having problems eating. He had some ingrown toenails. He just a whole bunch of little stuff that you didn't think would add up. And the doctors couldn't figure out what was going on with him. They couldn't figure out why he was hurting when he ate. Can you imagine hurting, literally hurting every time that you eat? You eat something and your stomach hurts. And up until then, Daddy was the epitome of health, it seemed. You know, he never really got a cold, and when he did, it was just a cold. But he never really got a cold. He never really had major problems. He had a back surgery one time. So for 4 years, we saw him struggle with this stuff, this stroke stuff. You know, all the debilitating things and how he was diminishing from the dad that I knew, the grandpa that he was, the husband that he was, into depression and sadness and anger, and he lost his memory. He couldn't remember what happened to him half the time. He didn't understand things like he did. And we're talking about a guy who used to sing the Beatles and Jimmy Buffett and It's 5 O'Clock Somewhere, and he used to joke and kid, and you know, he's the guy that wore bright orange booty shorts on top of gray sweatpants to pick me up from school one time. He was a goofy guy, and he lost part of his spirit over the span of time after he had his stroke. But we couldn't figure out what was going wrong, and the doctors did tests and tests, and they put him on several different medications, and he had a lot of acid reflux and indigestion, and he passed away. Unfortunately, he passed away the night that we found out we were pregnant with my first baby. And he's not hurting anymore, and we're grateful for that. I'm so sorry for getting emotional. Fast forward a few years to now. A couple of months ago, my niece, closer to as a sister than a niece, introduced me to Plexus. And I'm reading about Plexus, and I'm learning about the products, and I start the products, and they're doing fantastic things for me. And I've come across a document that describes about yeast, specifically candida. I was reading about candida, and I was reading all the things that yeast and fungus can affect somebody's gut, because 80%, that's a lot. 80% of your gut health, or your health, is in your gut. And I was reading about how if you have a fungus or a yeast overgrowth, how it can affect your body, and how it can make your organs stop working, like a kidney, and how it can give you depression and make you not yourself, and how it can irritate your body and create IBS and make it hard to want to live because you're so miserable. And I text my niece and I said, the more I read about this, the more I think about Dad. And my dad was an amazing person. And if I would have found Plexus, if that's the big if, right? If I would have found Plexus and read about this and read that document 5 years ago, okay, Um, 6 years ago, I would have paid for it myself on a single girl's income that barely even made, I could barely make my bills when I was single, and um, I would have paid for it myself if it would have meant that I would have gotten my daddy back, if it would have meant that my cousins would have him back, that my nephews would have their grandpa back, that my children would have been able to meet him and know how crazy he was and been able to sing the birthday song from the Beatles and all these things that I can't skip a rock, but he sure could. He could have taught them how to skip a rock, maybe. This is the big if. Maybe. If. But it would have been worth a shot because there's a 60-day money-back guarantee, and I would have given anything to help him feel better. And I'm sharing this with you because if your family member has diabetes or inflammation or arthritis or health issues, if you have an excess of fungus in your gut, you're going to show symptoms like acne, psoriasis, eczema. You're going to show things like an ingrown toenail, because when you have bad stuff inside you, what does your body do? It shows you outward signs. If somebody would have come to me and said, I have something that may help your dad feel better, even if temporarily, I would have put him on it, and I would have begged him. I would have begged him to take it for me, because I wanted to see him feel better. I would have taken that chance. I would have taken the chance if it didn't mean that I got my money back if I didn't like it, because he was hurting and he was in pain, and I hated seeing him like that, as the rest of the family did. And if I can help your family member because they're hurting and they're in pain, let me try. You try. You tell them, I love you and I want you to feel better. That's what I would have told my daddy. And he would have tried it because he loves me, and he would have wanted to try something new. He would have wanted to try to get his life back. Well, here I am. I'm telling you to help your loved ones and yourself get your love back. You want to lose some weight? You want to feel better? Please give it a try. It may help you. It may work for you. Not everything's for everyone, but you don't know until you try. And what do you have to lose? Missing money on one paycheck? All you have to do is save enough money to try it once, and then you have a 60-day money back guarantee. How fantastic is that? How many times do we have something that wonderful? This may help your life, and I'll give you your money back if you don't like it. Fantastic. It's fantastic that this company believes in itself so much that it's willing to give you your money back if it doesn't work for you. It worked for me. I feel great. It's worked for so many of my friends and so many of my fellow ambassadors. And I wish I would have had it to help my dad. I wish that you will get it for your dad, for your mom, for your brother. I'd give anything if I would have had it then. Just saying. Well, I hope this is okay. I hope you listen, and I hope if the Lord speaks to you, you listen to that too. The Lord spoke to me, and here I am passing the message along. And my daddy would have wanted me to tell his story if it meant it was going to help one person. I miss him every day, and I hope you don't have to miss your loved ones. Talk to you later.